Hello everybody, it is Christine. It is time for Mix It Up Monday. So this is actually my second video today. Although I don't remember what time which one gets posted, so there'll be two videos today. So what I've got, let me show you the original. So Mixed Up Monday, we use the same sketch and then we do mixed media. And so here's our sketch. It's actually a 2-pager. I'm not doing 2 pages, and I'll show you in just a second, by Lisa. And of course we'll have links and stuff below. She's got, on her sketch, she's got 3 2x5s, 2.5, squares, and then she's got this one, and then it's basically kind of a mirror image in a way. She's got the mixed media shown in this area with the journaling, some mixed media down here. There's little flags and banners and stuff. Okay, so what I've got, first off, the first thing I have is the 2024 Scrap Room Flavors of the Month. It's the Cartavella Vintage Christmas, because I pulled out Christmas photos, because I had in my little thing over here a bunch of Christmas photos printed. So I thought, well, I can use, initially, I'll tell you in a second. I was thinking I could use the 2-pagers and blah, blah, blah. But after I kind of set stuff down, I thought, So what I pulled out is I pulled out a couple of inks here. I'm not sure 100% which I'm going to use yet. I have Gathered Twigs and I have tea dye. I think I might start with tea dye and see how it looks. If it's not dark enough, I'll go darker. With the kit, the Scrap Room, it came with a couple of sticker sheets. So I do have like a little title here. There's some banner pieces, which kind of works out for the sketch. There's also these little like, I guess it's upside down. And there's also like these little things here, which could be cute. We'll see. And the papers I'm going to use, I'm going to maybe use this for photo mats. I'll show you, although I like this one, so we'll see. And I love this Santa, but it's not going to fit. So what I have pulled out, so these are the photos. I technically had a few more, but they were almost a little bit duplicated. And I thought this was kind of a neat interpretation. So obviously I have 6 instead of 3 as shown on her sketch. And then I've done like a long one here instead of like a single photo, because they're all 2x3s, all right? Now, my thinking is I may come in here and mat these photos. The problem I have is I've only got this much of the darker green. So I'm trying to decide, do I want to mat this in the darker green? Maybe I'll mat these and not these. Because my goal here, where's my stencil? I have this little snowflake stencil. Honestly, this is a bit ridiculous because in South Texas, I don't know that they ever get snow or that we ever get snow. I've not been here long enough to know, but my thought was it's kind of Christmassy, so I might can add, these snowflakes as my mixed media, like in these various different little places. And I may come up here too, just because I'm going to add the banners and the title. The thing is, she's had the journaling. Journaling might could go here. I have to think on that because I'm kind of changing this up a bit, right? But this is kind of my thinking. I love this little cream colored piece that already has like a distressed look to it. So I think adding this will give it a little something. So I may have to put these on white and then the green just to give it a little something, because I think the green by itself is going to be a little too dark. So, and I say white and I may mean cream, like this perhaps, just to keep it in the same family. So, oh, and I have some of these little guys too. All right, so let me trim my paper, get my photos mounted. Like I said, I may just glue these down and not mount them separate, just because I kind of think that could look cool with this one mounted and those not. So, but let me do a little work here and I'll be back on in just a moment. Okay, I have mounted the strip, the photo strip, let's call it, the right side photos on that, what is that, craft color almost with the darker green. And then I took the 6 in the lower left and I just mounted it on the little craft color. So I didn't do the green on that one. And I mean, honestly, the pictures in the vertical strip, I'm not going to suggest to you they're any more important than the ones in the 6 block. They just all happen to be horizontal and stuff. I actually really love how this turned out. I've started using the stencil there with my little, was that tea dye? No. Yes, I think tea dye, whatever the color was. I'm so sorry. It's on my screen kind of tiny and I've forgot the name. I've used my stencil there and I'm actually really liking how this is turning out. I'm going to move it around the page here a little bit, kind of how she had the mixed media shown, and actually put some in the lower right and the upper left. She technically, like if I was looking at the left side of the photo and kind of matching that, or the sketch, that's not exactly the same, but I'm kind of almost compressing, the 2-pager into one. So I'm kind of creating, the mixed media has to kind of go in both places. So I'm going to put kind of the varying little snowflakes. I just can't get over this. I think the colors turned out really pretty. I'm enjoying the fact that I have this like tone on tone look going on, and it looks like it was kind of part of the paper, the pattern paper. So I'm enjoying this a lot. So like I said, I'm going to get my snowflakes down there, and then I'm going to mount my photos. I contemplated putting the strip up on foam. I decided against it. I don't really know why. I just didn't do it. I decided against it. Oh, I'm still adding another. Well, I thought maybe I would. I guess I changed my mind. So now I'm going to use my ATG and glue those down. I am going to use the stickers and some foam to kind of create dimension and different things. I will tell you, I'm going to point it out later. I make a boo-boo, y'all. I get the whole thing done. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, I got to put the date on there. And darned if I don't screw that up. So I'll point that out to you at the end. Also, the photos were taken on December 31st. It was actually New Year's Eve. That was this past Christmas. We had kind of a funky schedule going on. It's hard to have a married child, y'all. It is really hard because you're so spoiled. When your child's not married, you're so spoiled. You have them every holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve, all the things. And then when they get married, all of a sudden there's this other family you got to think about. And, you know, we don't want to be those in-laws. I mean, the reality is they live with us, so it's really hard to suggest they can't go see my son-in-law's family because her in-laws, because, I mean, she does live here, but my husband was not happy she wasn't here for Christmas or Thanksgiving. I guess Thanksgiving we actually had gone to Fogo de Chao and stuff, and I've done a lot about that, but he just wasn't happy. I mean, this was just not Christmas in a way. Like, it was just me and him, which was not a bad thing. I think it was actually kind of sweet. We went to a Christmas Eve service at a local church. You know, we came home, we watched the Christmas Story, which we always watch that every year, and went to bed and all that kind of stuff. But it just isn't the same, you know, when there's no children, there's nobody else. We don't really exchange gifts because we stopped doing that a while back because we typically go on trips or something like that. So we just don't do gifts for each other. I say that. I will fill his stocking with some things. I think I did do that. But in this case, because we knew the kids were going to come back, we were actually going to do Christmas on New Year's Eve. We didn't want to do presents on Christmas because, I mean, then what would we open on New Year's Eve? So we really didn't do much of nothing. I think we had brisket. I made brisket. And he and I just kind of hang out, which was, again, totally fine. We enjoy each other's company, but it's not the same as a big Christmas with your child. So this was our Christmas, which was December 31st, so New Year's Eve. And we did Christmas presents, and you can see we're all kind of in our night clothes, kind of. We got our, you know, stockings and different little things. My mom and my bonus dad had come down because, you know, again, we were doing Christmas this day. We'd already spent some time with my dad up in Dallas the week before, but I say it was a week before. It might have been that week. It was earlier before Christmas we'd seen him. So anyways, I've got my little photo blocks glued down and everything. I'm starting messing with the stickers. So the upper left up there, that's where the title was shown, and then the little banners. And I got lucky because there was little banners on the sticker sheet. And I'm creating this title block. And you'll notice right now, I've got that floral with the title. I've got Christmas Wish on there. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure that title works exactly, but I'm going to use it. It was what I had, and I guess it works. We're going to say Christmas Wish is our title. It's on a little banner. You'll notice right there, though, on the left-hand side, I don't actually have anything else yet. That's where I make my booger. That's where I mess it up. On the lower right down there, I decided to go ahead and add the little houses and stuff because we're at home, because why not? And then I actually add like a little rocking horse as well. Not really any good reason other than in my mind it's like, okay, Christmas presents and stuff, and like a little rocking horse is kind of a Christmas present, I guess. So I'll put that down there, and then I do add a little tiny phrase. This is Believe in the Magic. It's just to kind of fill that in. And I did use a little garland there instead of the banners. She had like little banners on the sketch in the lower right of the right-hand side. But because I didn't really have any more horizontal banners and I had those garlands, I thought, well, I'll use that instead. So I filled that out, and now I'm going to grab some foam pieces. I'll put some under the little house on the right, some of the little rocking horse, some under the, I may have already done the title actually. I have that little candlestick up there too, and I'll add a little bit of foam. Honestly, I'm almost regretting the foam under the candlestick top just a little bit because I put it under the top of the candlestick, but it's kind of a thicker piece, and so I'm like, I'm not sure about that. But I'll leave it. It's fine. I'm using a little bit thinner of the foam dots underneath the house and the little rocking horse. I don't want them real thick. And so I'm going to use those little thin pieces there. That's me doing the little house over there. I think this looks kind of cute. I wish there had been 3 houses, just to be honest. But 2 is fine because I did add the rocking horse. And then also there's a little ornament I'm going to hang. I'm not going to hang it. I'll put it on the left-hand side of the photo, the 6 photo block. That's going to go on the left-hand side just to give a little bit of interest over there. I wouldn't suggest to you that she had that in the sketch because, again, in the sketch it was just 3 photos. But I'm kind of glad with how I did this. I really am thinking this is kind of a cool, like, compression of the sketch. You know, because I have my 6 photos. She had 6 small photos. So I compressed it to 1 block there. And then I have 4 photos. Technically, she had 2 larger ones, obviously, but I think it looks kind of neat, though. I've got that little wreath there. He is going to come into play, though. He is. I set it aside thinking I wouldn't use it, but I'll end up having to use it. I have to do something, because what I did was on the actual base paper, and it was like, oh, shoot, how do I fix that? Like I said, I don't think I show it to you, but basically what I do is I have one of those date stamps, those roller dates, and I thought, oh, okay, I'll put December 31st up there underneath the title on the left side over there. Well, I didn't press it down all the way, and so the bottom half of the number didn't go, and then I tried to do it again, and of course I was offset, so it just looked messy and sloppy, and I didn't love it. So I covered it up with that little wreath, and you'll see that in just a second, and I put my little present back down on it, and I actually did put the date I test stamped in the lower right corner down there over the little houses. So that is the layout, you guys. I think it turned out really pretty, though, even though I boogered it up a little bit. There's almost always a way to fix it, right? There's my little corner that I messed up that you can't see anymore. So thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the playlist and Tara's Facebook group as well, The Paper Snob. And you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.